Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Richard Moglen, and welcome back to a weekly Watchlist video sponsored by MarketSmith. As always, we're going to run through my focus list for this upcoming trading week. Let me know your thoughts on the setups down below in the comment section, and if there's any setups or ideas that I forgot, let me know down below as well. And if you do enjoy this video, please go ahead and leave a like down below and subscribe if you're new. It really helps me out and my channel. So let's go ahead and dive right in and start with DOCS. Overall, this is in a longer term downtrend. We've got a decent amount of overhead supply. However, we do have a really strong gap up on volume, and this has been showing relative strength over the past few weeks. And I love how tight it's gone relative to the market here, as you know, the indexes, the NASDAQ, S&P 500 are gapping up and down, moving with really wide ranges. This is getting tight, and that suggests to me that this is under accumulation at this point. So I'm watching for a breakout through the 60 level, and also a breakout through the HVC, and on the downside for it to hold 55. So that is DOCS, definitely a recent IPO to have on your radar. Great growth numbers and fund ownership. Moving on, we've got Photronics PLAB here, and you've got a really wide range bar here, failed breakout right before earnings, but did recover and retake this range. And I'm watching for a breakout through this pivot point. Nice quarterly earnings, sales, and margins. And I like how it's held this gap up during this market correction, definitely showing relative strength recently. Moving on, we've got Arch, and it's forming a little bit of short-term shelf here. I love to see it kind of pull back gently into the 21 EMA, maybe on a gap down tomorrow on Monday, as the futures are indicating. We get some support right at that level. That could be a nice potential entry, maybe an oops reversal through this prior low here. So I'm watching for it to hold this range and continue to trend higher towards all-time highs. Definitely an area that's been super strong. You'd see it's a leading group as of this moment. Great earnings and sales. Not great EPS estimates for this year, but estimate revisions are up. And pretty much fund ownership is flat over the past 2 weeks, but there's really a play on the overall group and relative strength. Moving on, we've got FANG, another name in a leading group, and pretty choppy recently, but I'm watching for a breakout through this level here. If we go to a 60-minute chart, you've got a pivot defined right at this spot right here. And overall, you can see great numbers, earnings, sales, margins. Not great estimates for this year, but estimate revisions are up. And you've got steady fund ownership increase since December of 2020, and 2 high-quality funds in there, as well as it moves up out of the stage 1B base, and definitely showing relative strength over the past few weeks. Next up, we've got CARG LNTH here. Super strong breakout, so potentially actionable on an HVC or on weakness at 45. Or some other type of setup here intraday, but definitely showing some power here. Huge volume as well, moving out of the stage 1B base. Not much to say in terms of quarterly numbers recently, but you do have some nice growth a few quarters ago, and the annual estimates for this year are pretty strong. And going over to a weekly, you can see this is a very, very significant breakout all the way through this pivot point. Moving on, we've got LNTH, another one that was super powerful late last week. Definitely already short-term extended, but I'm watching for some type of setup to develop here over the course of the next few days and weeks. And look at this huge volume to the upside. That tells me institutions are involved as it broke out of this early stage base. Moving on, we've got INVA, and this is a biotech, so keep that in mind. Definitely super strong action and relative strength since this gap up on earnings and forming a nice flag, so I'm watching for a break through this DTL. Next up, we've got Zim forming a similar pattern, similar flag here, right at that 70 level. And I'm watching on weakness tomorrow. If it can hold that 21 EMA, I think that would be awesome. And overall great numbers in terms of earnings, sales, margins. Estimates a little bit down for this year, but overall really nice growth in fund ownership already for this recent IPO. Moving on, we've got PANW, and this already did break out, so I'm watching for some type of consolidation, handle right below the top of the stage 2 base. And I think that would definitely be actionable because of this huge volume after earnings and just the superior relative strength that's shown over the past few weeks. Moving on, we've got ExxonMobil, and these 2 downside reversal days do give me pause. That suggests that there is some profit taking, but so far it is holding that 21 EMA. So I'm watching for some tightness and some pattern to form against the 21 EMA. We did have an inside day on this past Friday. Great numbers in terms of earnings, sales, margins. Estimates not super strong for this year, but the estimate revisions are up, and fund ownership is pretty much flat over the past 2 years. Next up, we've got ON Semiconductor. You've got a pivot right at this level. I'd love to see maybe an inside day or for it to hold the 21 EMA on a weakness, as well as the 60 level, and that could be actionable within the stage 2 base as it tries to push up the right hand side. I love how it's forming higher lows as the market is forming lower lows. And that's pretty much it for this week's focus list. Let me know your thoughts on these setups down below in the comment section. And if there's any setup that I missed or stock that you think I should take a look at, let me know down below as well. If you did enjoy the video, please go ahead and take the time right now to leave me a like. It really helps me out and my channel. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this one every single week. And with that said, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in future videos. Thanks.